What is going on, my friends, and welcome back to another video on the channel. Well, Solana just hit an absolutely amazing milestone that I think is really impressive, especially considering where we are in the market. And so in today's video, we're going to go over what that milestone was, why I believe it's important, and then finish the video off with some technical analysis, just showing you where Solana's price is at and what I'm expecting going forward. So with that in mind, let's not waste any more time and let's get into the news. So looking at Solana here, what we can see is that Solana NFTs hit $5 billion in all-time sales volume. Now, this can mainly be contributed to the fact that we saw $365 million in sales volume just in December of 2023 alone. And what's impressive about that is the fact that in October of 2021, which was damn near around the peak of Solana, the peak of NFT season, the peak of GameFi, really close to that in November, right? We saw $373 million in NFT sales on Solana. That means that there was just a couple $1,000,000 less sales in NFTs and transactions in December of last year than there was at the peak of the last bull market. That's ridiculous. I don't think people can even wrap their mind around how ridiculous that is. Tyler, why is that ridiculous? Think back to 2021. People still had stimmy money, right? They still had stimulus check money. Interest rates weren't high. The dollar was easy to access. Everyone had just made a shit ton of money through the bull market. Liquidity was high in the general economy as a fact of the fact that inflation wasn't really climbing just yet, at least noticeably. There was so much more money in the ecosystem. There was so much more money in the world back in 2021. In December of 2023, in comparison, was much more dry. Excitement was much lower. Engagement was much lower. The ecosystem was smaller in terms of communal growth. I mean, it's insane. And so the fact that we almost hit that previous peak is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Let's talk about some of the specifics. What we can see here is that Solana-based NFTs recorded an all-time sales volume again of over $5 billion after an uptick in NFT trading activity in the last 4 months. On February 23rd, data aggregator CryptoSlam showed that the all-time sales volume for NFT-based Solana networks is already right above $5 billion. The data also shows that the blockchain has over 2.2 million buyers and 1.6 million sellers. This brings the total number of NFT transactions within the blockchain to almost 43 million. And like I mentioned before, again, this is just so crazy to think about because people question a lot of the times when I say, I think Solana is going to pass its all-time high easily. I think that the ecosystem is going to be the biggest it's ever been easily. I think the TVL is going to be bigger than it's ever been easily, right? And people question that. And this is proof in the pudding. Where we are right now is nowhere near the excitement in this market like 2021. Nowhere near the excitement in the world like in 2021. Nothing about what we're seeing right now even feels the same as the last bull market. We're in the early stages, at least in my opinion. The halving is still months away, right? And because of that, considering the fact that, again, like I said before, Solana's already tested up to $120. Its TVL has already surpassed $2 billion because its NFT sales have already started to match what they were doing back in the bull market. It would be preposterous, in my opinion, to not be able to at least envision that Solana's price itself as a result of all of this ecosystemic growth and this overall demand growth that we wouldn't see Solana's price surpassing $220, up to $400, up to $500. It at least has a chance. Nothing's guaranteed, and you never know what can happen, and Solana's blockchain isn't 100% the most reliable one in the world, right? So you never know what can happen. But as I mentioned before, it would be bogus, in my opinion, to not even have it on your mind at all that Solana has a chance to 3x, 4x its previous all-time high, and look for those higher hundreds, look for those low thousands. It is well within the realm of possibilities, and where we are right now, because of TVL already realistically only being at $2 billion in comparison to the $10 billion that I saw before. The fact that we're only at $100 compared to the $250, even though something like NFT sales, for example, are already having moments in which they're spiking up to 2021 levels, it just tells me that there is a chance here. There is a shot here. And these type of milestones are the milestones that I like to see because they give me more conviction of what I'm talking about, right? Now, why is NFT sales specifically so important? What I want you to understand is that everything about the ecosystem needs to grow. If you're going to be a crypto like Solana or a platform or blockchain like Solana, you need to be capitalizing on as many different ecosystems as possible. You need the NFTs to do well. You need meme coins to do well. You need utilities to do well. You need to be able to introduce some of these different airdrop aspects, which we have seen already. We need to see all of these things doing well because Solana is kind of one of those expand and absorb type of cryptos. It needs to expand out to all of these different communities, the airdrop community, the meme coin community, the NFTs communities, bring them all in and then put them together into one little bubble. That's how a crypto like Solana grows. It doesn't individualize itself. It doesn't kind of niche itself down into one little area, one little aspect. It wants to capitalize on all of that. And those types of cryptos are going to be the ones that face the most adoption. Those are going to be the ones that can be used in a school, for example, random example, but a school, for example, but also be used for a GameFi development and also be used by a meme coin guy who's probably going to scam you, who fucking knows what they're going to do. And then also used by an NFT project who wants to mint for their community, right? You need to be able to expand out into all of these communities if you're a company like Solana, because again, the goal is to expand and absorb, expand and absorb, and constantly capture the investment and capture the excitement of as many different communities as possible. And the fact that their NFT ecosystem is still doing extremely well, the fact that it is still thriving and that there is still interest, there's more buyers than there are sellers, tells me that when NFTs have their day again, Solana's probably a front runner to see a lot of growth, just like meme coins. When meme coins ran back around and they had their little microcycle in December and January, where'd they go? They went to Solana. What do you think is going to happen when NFTs really start to catch momentum again? Where do you think they're going to go? They're probably going to go to Solana. And that's what we love to see, because again, what's the goal? Expand, absorb. So I believe it's absolutely phenomenal. That's why I thought that the news of them surpassing 5 billion in all-time volumes and the fact that December did as well as it did is a huge statistic, in my opinion, for Solana itself. Now, looking at Solana's price itself, what we can see here is that it is currently now back testing the $100 level. What I did mention in yesterday's video is that we were seemingly putting in this head and shoulders pattern, and it did seem as if we did lose. If we did lose 105, $100 might try to hold us because it is a psychological level, but if $100 is lost, yeah, Solana's price might pull back to the lower 90s. That's well within the realm of possibilities. Personally, I don't care. I told you all that I was going to buy around the $100 level because our DCA did flash. Our DCA plus signal did flash here on the 4-hour charts. This doesn't happen often. Okay, look back here. Look at these times throughout, this year when this happened. We've only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 flashes over the course of what, almost 60 days. So realistically, this doesn't happen a lot. And from these ones in which we were seeing these flashes, these turned out to be some of the best buying opportunities you could have gotten on Solana at any given point this year. And even if you go back further past that, you look in November, boom, beautiful buy on $50, beautiful buy on $53. You go down a little bit lower, beautiful buy on $20, beautiful buy here on $17. The 4-hour DCA for Solana doesn't flash often. So when it flashes, I take note of it, and I know that it's an important time to dollar cost average, and I do that, right? And so as you can see here, I mean, these beautiful purchases here, beautiful purchases here, beautiful purchases here. So the fact that we're now getting that DCA plus signal feature, flashing right here around $100 tells me that there is some type of support here. And although it's not guaranteed and we easily might pull to the downside, this is at least still a good time to get a good entry for my long-term portfolio. Now, if you do want to use HG Algo yourself, which is where you can get access to the DCA plus feature, which tells you like literally some of the best times to buy Solana, Bitcoin, any crypto you can imagine, go down to the link down in the description below, go to the HG Algo website, and you're actually going to get 20% off while we're in the month of February, because this was Genesis month and we wanted you guys to be able to get rewarded for that, and that lasts a lifetime. So make sure you take advantage of that. But as I mentioned before, yes, I'm not doing much outside of just DCAing on Solana right now. If we lose $100, I'm expecting mid to low 90s to happen rather quickly. If we hold $100, it would be the possibility of us establishing this double bottom, this DCA signal being a beautiful purchase entry, and then boom, we could probably have a break back up towards $112. So because I'm not sure, because it's a 50-50 of where this thing goes, I'm quite simply, again, just going to DCA and let it ride. So with that in mind, that's my opinion of everything happening with Solana, with this milestone, with this news, and of course with this price. If you guys do enjoy these Solana videos, you can always let me know quite easily, quite simply, by smashing that like button, subscribing to the channel if you want to see more content just like this, and of course I will see you all next time. Peace out, everybody.